we like to feel like we're in control. And when we've arrived at a season for which we've prepared and things turn out mostly the way that we wanted, we're like, yes, I'm in control.
Correct.
And it's like, no, you were control of the making.
Yeah.
And in between the seasons is when we make the most. It's when we are doing all of the deciding. So I just decided right now that it's in between the seasons that we have the most control.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Seasons Podcast. I'm your host, Daniela Climaco, and today I have GiGi Diaz with me. I am so honored to have you. She is an entrepreneur, media personality, business and media coach, founder of Season Happy. With over 20 years of experience in business communication and broadcasting, GiGi has dedicated her career to helping women build successful businesses while creating lives they truly love, which is very, very important. From interviewing celebrities to empowering female entrepreneurs, her journey is both inspiring and impactful. And I'm so excited for you to be here today, GiGi.
Thank you for having me.
I also have to say that this has been over a year in the making because you are now a beautiful mama of two.
Two
And
boys.
my favorite question to start out, GiGi, what season are you in your life?
It's so funny you asked that because I was just thinking about that on the drive here, not because it was a question, but just because it's a long drive.
It is.
And so my brain was going off in circles. And I don't think I think I am in between seasons.
That's beautiful.
I'm coming out and I'm like in transition.
Mm-hmm.
So I am 5 months postpartum right now with my second boy.
Amazing.
So I'm not fully out of postpartum by any means. But I am slowly rediscovering my new rhythms as a mom of two, my new needs as a mom of two, my new desire for like our family flow, which is different than my own personal rhythms and how I need my business to step up to support my new life, right? As a mom of two. And so I'm coming out of like the newborn cocoon into moving all those pieces into their new places. And so there's an in-between there because I'm not fully at my new self because a lot of people say like, oh, you bounce back. I don't think you ever go back.
I agree.
I don't think there's any part of life where you go back to any version of you.
Agreed.
Especially after you become a mom. Like the girl before motherhood is dead and that's great. I loved her.
Yep.
But you have to grieve her, let her go and become the new you. And the longer you try to hold on to or go back or bounce, whatever, none of that happens. It doesn't work. Don't do it. So I'm like in between. I'm discovering because the mom of one is also dead and I'm also grieving her.
That's right.
Because she had more time for the kids because there was only one kid.
Yeah.
And she was able to do things differently and she was able to, like her brain worked differently, her body looked different, it worked different. And so I'm kind of like grieving her and acknowledging that this is the new me and figuring out what this me is like and what she needs. And how everybody else needs to behave around this new me, to see who stays around and who doesn't, and all those things. And so I'm not I'm like mid-season or transition seasoning.
I love that. I love that. So you're just like seasoning.
Yeah, just seasoning.
You're just seasoning.
I'm marinating.
I mean, you're perfect. Exactly. Your little adobo, sazon, all the things.
I am marinating.
I love it. No, I
out.
agree. I think that's so beautiful because like the things that you're saying is that you're identifying all those things.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be in between seasons because it means that you had your season and you're open to whatever comes next.
But let's be very clear. I'm just gonna say this out loud. The fact that I'm aware and that I am naming these things because of my training and because of what I know and because of my skill set does not make it easy. To be mid-season. It does not make it easy to be in a transitional period. So I can say it, I can name it, I can spot it, I'm aware of it, but it's still really freaking hard. It's hard to grieve the woman you used to be. It's hard to grieve the life you used to have and still be excited about the life you have now and still be anxious or anticipating or in between the how much control and how much surrender do I need to have for the developing and the creating of the new life? Like you're constantly like this. it's not easy. The fact that I can name it doesn't make it easy. Now, naming it does make the transition time, I think, flow better.
Smoother.
Being aware of it and accepting that we are not the same person all the time, that we're not supposed to be. I mean, how boring would it be if I was still my 20-year-old self? Well, I was having a lot of fun, but like I would not be as cool now as I was when I was 20 if I was still that version of me. And so all those things can be true at once, and accepting that being in between seasons is probably also, it's weird now that I'm thinking about this out loud with you. I think that we think that when we are in a season that we can name clearly, that we are in control. But I think, I just decided that I think this right now because the light bulb just went off, that we are most in control in between seasons.
I love that.
And here's why I think that.
Okay.
Because right now that I am in between, like having been a mom of one to just becoming a mom of two, changes in my business have to happen, changes in my marriage are happening, changes in how we live are happening. My husband just sent me like 3 different cars. He's like, pick one. I'm like, I don't want a bigger car. I don't want to drive a van.
Yeah, I hear all those things.
Such a small, silly thing, right? But these things are happening. It is now that I have the most control to decide.
Yeah.
How do I want it to feel? How do I want it to look? Yeah. How do I want it to, how fast do I want it to happen? How deep do I want it to go? Yeah. How, whatever. Now it's in between the seasons. But I think that when we're in between seasons, we tend to focus so much on the uncertainty. Yeah. Because especially, I think women like us, I'm going to just group you in here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just going to throw your ass in this pool with me.
I'm in.
Women like us, we like control.
Yeah.
Or the illusion of it, because there's no such thing.
Correct.
But like, we like to feel like we're in control. And when we've arrived at a season for which we've prepared and things turn out mostly the way that we wanted, we're like, yes, I'm in control. Correct. And it's like, no, you were control of the making. Yeah. And in between the seasons is when we make the most. It's when we are doing all of the deciding. So I just decided right now that it's in between the seasons that we have the most control.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's so accurate.
Maybe that's going to be my 3rd book.
Okay. I love that because I have so many incredible questions for you because you are in the perfect in-between season. Because things that I love hearing from you is like I'm following your social media and things that we discussed while you were pregnant, now having a baby. I mean, I agree with you. You're still thick in the postpartum.
Oh, girl.
Like, I love that you said that because I had an incredible conversation with a mom who is a therapist who coaches women postpartum, which I wish more I would have done and more women do. Because like you said, there's an expectation to bounce back, to just jump in, to juggle, to be the good entrepreneur and be the good mom be the good wife and sleep. I don't know how that happens. And get them to school and get them to camp and get them here and get them there.
And work out and have your peptides and drink 2 gallons of water a day.
And have time to do your hair and your makeup and your nails and the IVs that we like now and doing all the things that look easy, that social media makes look so glamorous, but there's not enough time, energy, anything in the whole world to feel successful in all those things. So then I want to ask you, for the moms that are also going through it, tell me about, because I am also a mom of 2 boys. I've done all the things and felt all the things, and you are definitely 5 months in, much more glamorous than I was. And
I know this is just today because you've got cameras on.
Well,
I do not look like this every day.
She's still showing up incredibly. And like at 5 months postpartum, I don't know if I was. And like, that's okay too. But I love having this conversation because I think it's so important, especially for those of us that are doing everything. You know, we have the support from our husbands. That's great. But like you said, for women like us, it always feels like it's us. So it's, you know, how am I making my business better? And how am I being the best mom? And how am I, which is really stressful and exhausting. So I'll ask 2 questions that you kind of touched upon. One, how is it like to have 2 now? How are you managing that as a mom? And then you mentioned kind of pivoting your, because you have to, which I think is incredible, your business and your model and everything you're doing. What And if you're in between, that's okay. But what is that looking like or feeling like to you?
So it feels like a shit show.
Okay, I love that. Be honest. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
So I'll go with the business first because I feel like it's the most fresh in my brain right now. Because when I'm in the car without the kids, it's easy to just like focus on that.
The best.
But I think, number one, I started planning for the transition of the business the day that I found out I was pregnant. So this pregnancy, as opposed to my first son, was not a surprise. My husband and I were trying. And, you know, we were trying like on the date of the, like we had scheduled nookie time. Like it was like, we're bringing this baby right now. And so it wasn't a surprise. So I knew that at some point it was coming. So I was already tightening up the ship in the ways that I would have liked it to be.
I love that.
Now, did that work out exactly as I planned? No.
My follow-up.
Technology I was like migrating my business from one piece of software to another, and that was a disaster. And the people that I hired did not deliver in the way that they said that they would, which happens all the time. And all the fun things of entrepreneurship, right? All the fun things that happen in entrepreneurship all at once. So I did start planning for my business transition before I was pregnant because I already knew that we wanted to do that. And so I think that has made the business part a little bit smoother. The adjustment struggle that I'm still growing into, that I'm still learning to manage, is the desire that I have a lot of energy. Despite the fact that I don't sleep, that my baby still feeds overnights and all the things, I'm a very energetic person.
That's incredible.
A little bit about human design, if you know, like I'm a generator, I'm a 2-4 generator. So I'm like, I want to be out. And then I'm like, put me away in a box.
Yes.
And then I'm like, let me out. Right. Like I'm like that. So I'm very like this. And so I've learned also to work with my own seasons where it's like when I need to be put away, I have learned to no longer feel guilty about what I'm missing. I'm not missing out on anything. None of us are. The world is going to go on without us now, tomorrow, when we die anyway. So it's not that serious.
I love that.
But now that I'm like, I want to get back. I want to be doing more things. I want to, you know, go to the events. I'm finishing my first book. So it's like, I want to start making the network connections of the women that I feel will really benefit from this book and start getting to show them who I am and how I am so that this book makes sense to them now, not the day it comes out.
Right.
There is a little bit of a struggle where it's like, okay, but I also want to be home with my 5-month-old.
Right.
I want to cuddle him. And he's the opposite of my first son. My first son is not very affectionate. He's very much a doer.
Yes.
Like he just wants to go do things.
Yes.
And he wants you to do things with him. But don't do the thing he's doing because he's doing that thing his way. So just sit there and watch him do the thing that, but this kid, like I could just smother him all day. And like, he's just like, haha, yeah, mommy, do it.
Yes.
And so like, I want to do that, you know? And that part of like, when does my soul need me to prioritize the businesswoman?
Yeah.
So that I feel in my purpose, so that I feel like the footprint that I am leaving on this planet goes beyond my children who will make their own decisions in the future, no matter what upbringing I give them.
Right.
I think it's very egotistical for parents to think that everything they give their children is what they're going to take. They're going to make their own decisions and do their own things too.
Right.
But
That's
I know that what I do,
piece.
that control piece, right? But with my business, I feel like I also leave a powerful and beautiful footprint with the women that I help and that I support. And so it's really being able to ground into myself and asking myself what my soul today, does she need for me to mom?
Yeah.
Or does she need for me to business?
Yeah.
Or does she need for me to wife really hard? Or does she need for me to disappear from these 3 roles and just go be GiGi?
Yeah.
Right? And so being able to honor the roles that we play and then being able to have the proper boundaries, because those are my chosen roles, but there are other roles that have been given to me.
Yes.
Caretaker, emergency button, 911 operator who does not actually work for 911. Like I have all of those roles that were just given to me.
Absolutely.
And then you feel the urgency to respond to other people's urgent things that are not necessarily yours. And then that I got really good at younger, when I was much younger. But that's a big part too of like, these are my chosen roles. These are the ones I picked from myself. These hold priorities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and they're just 3 roles.
Right.
they're my top 10 because they have different layers, and then everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how I'm able to fluctuate between when it comes to the business, when it comes to, myself and like working the business around my second son and all these things. I started it early, and I'm very intentional about grounding in what does my soul need from this human experience today. Is it business or is it mom? Now, when it comes to mothering, what's it like mothering 2 kids? It's a disaster. It gets painful,
better.
It's annoying. I'm tired, and I have 2 boys. I'm tired of being kicked.
Yep.
I'm tired of being dirty. I'm tired of being scratched and pulled and bumped into. I was a C-section. This is my second C-section. I'm 40, so I am not completely healed. I don't care what my OB says.
Correct.
It still hurts.
Yep.
My 3-year-old thinks that he's a Tonka truck, and so he runs into me all the time, and I just want to push him through a wall, and I won't.
Yep.
But sometimes I'm just like, stop hitting me.
All of those things.
Like,
Overstimulated,
I told my husband the other day,
overtouched.
I'm like, I don't know if being a boy mom is as cool as boy moms say. Y'all are liars. You're liars because they're cute and everything. But like my first son's not cuddly. He's not. They're like, oh, because your sons love you the most. I'm like, my son, I don't know if he cares if I'm around or not. My first one, at least. And then the other part is like, he's such a wild child, and I love that for him. So like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to cut that off. But like, this is gonna sound terrible, but like, my oldest son is always dirty, and I'm not talking about like a drop of food. I'm talking about. I gotta show you pictures. He's like filthy dirty. Like, he just looks like the Swamp Thing.
That's hysterical.
Because he wakes up at like 7:40 every day.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Mama, vamos afuera." And he will. There's times that to get him to eat his breakfast, he has to eat his breakfast outside.
Okay.
In the sun.
Just gotta go.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But then he's a Tonka truck. So he speaks Spanish right now, only Spanish. So he's like, "Mamá, yo soy un camión de volteo." So like the dump truck.
Yes.
Yo soy un camión de volteo. Yo soy una excavadora. So I'm an excavator. So he will go on his knees, and he's like, "Yo tengo ruedas de oruga." Like the wheels like this. I don't know how you say it in English, but he will go and crawl on the tracks for the excavator. So he walks, he's on his knees like this, and then he'll like dig in the dirt. His nails are full of dirt, and then he's like, "Oh, it's so hot," and I'm like, "Don't touch your face." And then so he's just like filthy. No, I let him. I think it's good for him. It's why he's 3. He just turned 3. He's only been sick like 3 times in his life.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he's been rolling around in the dirt, since
eating all the
moment
dirt
he eats,
and the minerals.
I don't care. I do not care. But now that he's older, I'm like, dude, you're always dirty.
Yeah.
Like, you're just always a literal ball of dirt.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't bring myself to take him out of that, because then also he will say things like he's outside, right? And like, he's digging dirt, and he's got all the dirt in his hands and his feet everywhere. And then he'll stop, and he'll look at me, and he'll say, "Mom, what's under the dirt?" And I'm like, well, it's like the worms and stuff. No, under the worms and under the dirt. And I'm like, well, papi, there's rocks.
Right.
There's very thick rocks. And what's under the rocks?
Lava.
Well, sometimes there's water, and sometimes there's lava.
Yeah.
And he's like, and what's under the lava?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my geology, is this geology?
Right.
I failed this class.
Yes.
I don't know what's under.
Right.
But the fact that he's even thinking about that. And so he did that the other day, and then he went out with his grandparents, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, and my mom drops him off. She says, "Do you know what your son said to me?" I'm like, "Oh, shit." He heard me say something. And then she's like, "He asked me, what is past the white clouds?" And then I was like, "Oh, papi, the sky." And then he's like, "What's after the sky?" He's like, "Oh, space." And he goes, "That's where the planets are." And she was like, "Yeah, that's where the planets." And my dad's like, "Oh, that's the universe." And he's like, "Okay, I want to go to space." He's 3.
I know.
So
I love that.
I love about him that in being filthy and out there and exploring and touching and feeling and all the things that he is, it triggers his connection to this earth, to this human experience, to ask the questions that matter.
Absolutely.
I do my best not to put him in front of the screen very long.
Yeah.
But, also then, like today I had to sneak out of the house and not say bye to him, because if I dress up to come here and I say bye to him, I'm going to come in with a smudge of dirt on my pants, and I'm not going to clean it, because look, I'm not going to change my clothes again. This is the only outfit that I fit in. This is the outfit that I wear to go to the doctor, to go on date night, and to go on this podcast.
You look gorgeous.
Thanks. It's the only thing that fits right now. I refuse to buy clothes at my current weight, because I want to get into whatever my next strongest, best, healthiest shape is. So I'm not going to buy more clothes at this weight. And so there's no way I could have said bye to him before he left because he was just going to get dirt on me.
Right.
And it's just like, I'm just tired of being dirty. And then, of course, a 5-month-old, he's just like spit up and all the things.
I was going to say, yes.
And then he loves, so I never have my hair down. I always have my hair up with him. But he will turn and he'll just grab this one spot right in the like base of my neck that
hurts
and he's just,
so much.
Yeah, and oh God. So it's like the bumping into my belly, the pulling of the hair, the scratching of the nails, and then the constant screaming because, of course, when he's not a Tonka truck or an excavator, he's obviously an ambulance.
Obviously.
And obviously, it's wee all day, and then like so all day the sound. It's it's so that part I'm not doing so well.
I love how
and you know what else is hard?
honest you are.
Yeah, this is a disaster. And then also the balancing part of I always want both of them to feel like my universe has two centers and it is them. And I also need them to understand that they are two separate centers and that they are both equally important to me. And that sometimes I need to pay more attention to one than the other because they have different needs, because they're different people, they're different ages. How do you explain it to a 3-year-old? So, for example, we just baptized my youngest.
Okay.
And we baptized, so my husband and I got married at this church.
Okay.
And the reverend that married us baptized my first son and baptized my second son.
Okay.
And so we did it all in the same place, all in the same little place, the chapel, everything. And so when we were leading up to my second son's baptism, I showed my first son the album of his baptism.
It's so nice.
Papi, look, this is what the place looks like. Yes. Look at what you did. Look how well you behaved. Look at how the guy does this and mom does that and Tia Madrina does this and Tío Padre. I walked him through the whole thing and I was like, now it's your brother's turn and so we're going to do this for him. So I'm going to show him the pictures so he sees what a great job you did so he does it just like you, blah, 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 blah.
Amazing.
So we get there and my Tarzan son realizes that there's real life peacocks outside.
Oh, wow. I see it.
Yeah, but the baptism is inside, honey. And so now there's no way that I can get this kid to come inside and sit down so I can baptize the other kid.
Correct.
So my dad, God bless his soul, he's like, take him. And like, he just kind of like grabs him and takes him outside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's not his baptism.
Right.
So when we're done and we're taking pictures, I had a photographer there to like for the family to gather to take some pictures together. And my first son didn't want to come. He was finally back inside because like, Mom, it's too hot outside. I'm going to come inside. But he was standing back on the glass like this, looking at these peacocks, right? And so at some point, my dad's like, you have to get him and you have to put him in the pictures.
Right.
He's going to get jealous. He's going to feel left out. And I go, no. He already had one of these. Mm-hmm. This one's baptism. Mm-hmm. These are his pictures. And I've already told him 3 times, come take pictures with us. If he did not come take pictures with us, I cannot now stop the celebration of one to and he's not jealous. He wants to see the peacocks.
Right.
He doesn't care about the baptism.
And then the truth is, you know that if you bring him into the photo, he's just going to be crying and screaming. And you don't, there's not a good photo.
It's not a good photo. And I'm a big fan of like the lifestyle photo, like the real photos are okay too, but like, no. And so that part too, I feel like it's important to like, this is not your moment. This is your brother's moment and y'all need to figure this out. But the two of you exist as independent humans. Right. And sometimes each one of you is going to require attention. And the other time, whichever the other one is, needs to just sit down and shut up for a minute.
Yes.
You know, but that part is hard for me right now with a 3-year-old because he doesn't have a fully developed brain that can understand the things that I'm explaining to him.
Correct.
And so sometimes the explanation I feel is pointless because he doesn't understand. He doesn't have the mental capacity to understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
And so it's frustrating because I want to explain to him. I want him to know, but he can't. No matter how hard I want him to.
Yes.
And I feel like some people lied to me because they were like, "It's so much easier going from 1 to 2 than from." And I'm like, "Listen, sisters.
No,
you liars." I think I talked about it with my husband, and I was like, "These women, they lie." But he's like, "Oh, maybe it's the age group." Because a lot of the moms that I talked about, their kids are 5, 6, 7 years apart. My kids are 3 years apart.
I think that's harder.
It's so much harder because when you have a 5-year-old, they're already in school. They're kind of out of the house most of the day. They're not interacting with each other all the time. So the baby's still a novelty. The baby's like in the afternoon, like, oh, the baby. But they have their own life, their own friends, their own stuff. Like their brain is full of other stuff.
Correct.
It's not just like my mom who works from home, who has me all the time, who I could see between her, whatever she does in that room, right? Because my son doesn't know what I do for a living. But like I go in my office, like whenever I come out, I would just go hang out with him. And now it's like whenever I come out, I'm like, oh, let's see if this kid's gonna get on the boob. And let's see if, if I pump on the other side. And then if I'm pumping, then I can't carry the big one because he's too heavy, takes my pumps out. And all these things. And it's like, yeah, he's trying to process. And even just biologically, like he knows that without me, he'll die, right? And so his whole biology is like, do I still have a place in this pack?
Yes.
Or is this kid displacing me and now I'm gonna die? Like that's literally what I read up on it. Like that's what their little brains are doing. That's why they act up to see like, do I still have safety here?
Right.
And that part is also exhausting because he's brilliant and he's 3. And so there's times when he's like, oh, mama, ¿estás con hermanito? I'm like, yeah, papi, he needs my help. Like, just give me a minute. And sometimes you'll be like, okay, and he'll just go away.
Yes.
But then sometimes the baby will cry and he wants something at that exact time. So he'll just, right. He's not really crying. He's competing with him.
Yep.
He's competing for the attention. And then it's like, and then the dog, my poor dog.
You have a dog.
I have a dog who hates everyone but me. Especially hates my son, has never been able to accept the fact that I brought him to the pack. I think if there is anyone waiting for me to like...
The dog is grieving.
The dog has been grieving so hard. I mean, when I brought my husband into the pack, it was just she and I.
That's so funny.
And so I brought my husband into the pack and she was like, this guy's whack. I don't quite understand why he's here, but fine. I guess we need some male energy, mom. It's good. But when I had my son, she was like, this is some shit. It's fucked up. She won't play with him. She doesn't touch him. She will just completely. But he's 3, so he goes after her. He wants to play with her. Like she has snapped at him. I have this a whole system to keep them separate from each other. And so when they start to cry, the dog just goes to a corner and she looks at me like, "You did this.
This is happening.
You did this, and this is dumb." Like she'll just stare at me from a corner like, "You're an idiot.
So
Mom.
funny.
You should not have done this."
That's so funny.
Yeah. You know what my son said to me the other day? He was like, "We should take." Oh my God, these kids. It's like, we should just take him back to the hospital, Mom. I was like, neither one of you came with receipts.
Right.
Like, neither one of you have return receipts.
That's hysterical. I mean, it's pretty brilliant, though.
It's
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
bring him back.
Brilliant.
I know.
Because when I gave birth, I told him, I was like, Papi, I'm going to the hospital because I don't feel so good. So I want to give you a nice big hug. I took a picture. It's like my last picture with him as a mom of 1, whatever stupid stuff that we do when we're pregnant. And then and I was like, Papi, if I don't come back today, you have to be really good for grandma and grandpa because maybe your little brother's going to come today. I explained all that to him. Like 2 days later, when I was okay enough for him to come to the hospital to meet the baby, he comes to the hospital. So he understood that the baby came from the hospital. Like he knew the baby grew inside my belly, but it came from the hospital.
Correct. Yeah.
And more than one occasion, he's been like, we should just take him back to the hospital, Mom. And I'm like, yeah.
There's no room for him here.
Like, I also wondered why they gave me you in that hospital, son. I also wondered.
I know.
And I couldn't take you back either. Sometimes I was wondering when somebody was going to come pick you up, but nobody's coming to pick you up.
I know.
It's me. I'm your mom.
I know. Gigi, I love having this conversation with you because I think there's more of this than not, but we don't talk about it. Yeah. Like, I am literally watching a mirror because my son is 6 and 3. So I have a 3-year-old right now. All the things. It's that 3-year-old. You're better than me because I did not allow them to get dirty. I was the one with the wipes and the everything. And you don't eat with your fingers.
That's my husband.
And you know what? Thank God they're okay. I understand I could have ruined them, and I took the chance because exactly. More than happy. I couldn't do it. They're fine, and they get dirty in their own way now, but I couldn't. So God bless you, because I couldn't.
Hey, I'm sure I'm ruining them in other ways. It's fine.
It's all right.
It's all good.
We do the best we can. That's the best we can.
I told my husband, I'm like, we do the best we can. We just put money aside and pay for their therapy. That's all we can do.
That's it. I mean, they know they're loved.
That they know.
That they know. I think, like, I really, hone in on that. And I'm like, no, I love them with everything that I can, and that's got to be enough.
It is.
I will tell you, though, now that they're 6 and 3, it's incredible. But it takes 3 years. Yeah. So just hang tight, because it is all of those things. It's the 3-year-old who's learning how to be a human, has no concept of time, awareness. And it's so funny because you said it. I had to teach Leo, my husband, that they have no concept of if you're coming back or not. So like, I'm blanking right now the terminology, but like, they literally at this age don't know what tomorrow is, yesterday, an hour before. Like, you put something behind a cup, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm having this conversation because it's also hard for people to understand 3-year-olds. And like, I just happen to know child development, but I'm like, this kid has no idea what you're saying, why you're saying. They don't care.
You don't.
And the funniest part is, like, you said something that was so good that I heard this morning. Don't hold on to the moods. Like, don't hold on to how you're feeling right now in half an hour, in an hour, next week. And I think that is like, and you said it in your own way, but that is the best message and the best methodology to live by, because that's how we get stuck. And then the kids get stuck and we're all just stuck. But girl,
Together.
there are so many times where I'm like, I don't like you. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I would love to give you back. I'd love to give both of you back. Stop fighting. That's all I tell them all these days.
Yeah.
Stop fighting. Just stop it. Just be nice. Be good brothers. But they will be. That's the one thing that I'll say. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh, good. They love each other sometimes. I mean, there's that sibling.
I'll tell you this.
But it's not easy, girl.
Yeah, it's not. But my oldest wakes up cranky every time he wakes up. And so what I do now is, like, I just put the baby next to him, and he immediately, he calls him Mimi. He's like, Mimi, Mimi. Which he came up with on his own. Yeah, and he'll, like, play with him. He's like, Mom, pónmelo arriba. Like, he wants the baby to go on top of him because I have a chunkster. And so, like, he wants the baby, like, on top of him. And he's like, oh, pónmelo aquí. Like, he wants to carry him. And so they love each other.
That's amazing.
So that part right now I'm not concerned about because I can see it. Like my little one, it's so wild. Like, I don't know how he knows, but he'll hear my son's voice and, like, just look for him.
It's amazing.
And my son will be, like, running around and doing whatever he does, and the little one's just like,
oh, that's amazing.
Watching him. And then the other day, my husband was leaving. He was, like, going to pick something up. And my son was like, no, I want him to stay. I want to play. Because they were like throwing each other around or whatever they do. And my oldest starts crying. And the baby looks at him and goes, oh. And I'm like, why are you crying?
Right.
You have no idea that your dad left.
Right.
He was just crying because his brother was crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so cute. Also, shut up, stop.
Yes.
This is so annoying.
That will happen
Be
many,
quiet.
many times.
But it was so beautiful.
That's beautiful. It is. And you know what? I love that for you. Definitely foster that.
Yeah.
The hard part is, too, this is where it gets tricky. Then the older one learns that they're the model. So then you have to tell him how the little one's copying you. That's a whole nother animal.
Yes. And I want him to figure it out on his own, but I don't want to put that weight on him.
And I absolutely agree. I think beautifully said, because I definitely go back and forth with my husband on that too. That's not your responsibility. This is not your kid. However, you are the bigger brother, which means that you are not his caretaker, but his guidance, someone he looks up to. Yeah. But what I love about that, not to put the pressure, for my older son at least, it gives him this, and this, like, pride in him individually. Yeah. But also, like, all right, cool, I got him. But meanwhile, the 3-year-old's really the one that got the 6-year-old back. Like, he's the wild one. The 6-year-old's super sensitive. So, like, I know that at the end of the day, when the 6-year-old's in trouble, the 3-year-old's showing up, not vice versa.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's adorable. But managing that is really hard, because I agree with you. Like, I had to basically raise my brother, so I'm really conscious about that.
What's your age difference?
7 years.
We're 11 and a half.
You see?
Yeah.
So for those that say it's easier, it's so not.
You were mom too.
I was totally mom.
That's one of the reasons why I told my husband. First of all, my husband and I were not planning on having any kids. Then when we decided we were going to have kids, we got pregnant way sooner than we expected to.
Yeah.
And then, but when we decided, I told him, I was like, if we do one, we must do two. And they must be as close to back as we can. Because what I don't want is, I don't want a huge age gap where the oldest one becomes like a secondary parent.
Absolutely.
Because that's a very big responsibility. It's a very big weight. It's
Correct.
beautiful. Like, I love you to pieces, Bear, my brother. But like, also, I was his mom growing up.
No, 100%.
The homework, the PTA meetings. I'm
Correct.
still his emergency contact.
Correct. All of those things, the homework, the feeding, the
All the
friends.
stuff.
He came with me. It was my little tag along. I totally get it. And the beauty of the age, I love that. The 3 age gap, I think, is ideal because they can still have friends and go to parties together. Like, the age is still okay. But then you get to, like, now he's going, you know, the older one goes to a big boy party. So we're learning that, which again goes back to exactly where you're at. Like, how do we understand the separate lives? Like, you know, honoring.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any answers to that. I'm trying to figure out diapers and potty training still.
100%.
Like, I can't even. You just said that, and my whole brain just short circuited to like separate lives.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yes. Yeah, and but it's what you said.
Yeah, I don't
you're
know.
doing a beautiful job already because you're like, no, this was you had your baptism. Now it's his turn, and it'll just keep being that. Like, yes, I can do these things together.
Those are moments. But those are moments that I control.
Yeah.
That's different than the example you just gave, where it's like the big brother has his own actual life. Because one baptism versus the other baptism, it's the same uncles and aunts and grandparents. And it's just the same thing, but just you're not the spotlight right now.
Yeah.
And what you said is it's not the same thing and you're not included.
True.
And that's hard.
It is really hard.
I don't know. I recently read about this somewhere on like one of these mom things online that I try to avoid. But it was something like if you have, in a nutshell, if you're hosting a birthday for your kid and you're inviting his like school friend who has a sibling, is the sibling automatically invited
I love that
or expected
conversation.
not to come because the sibling is not part of the birthday boy's whatever circle?
Right.
And I struggle with that because as somebody who, like, as the host, I feel like I'm a everybody can come host, right?
Yes.
I don't care. But as the mom, I'm like, well, where do you expect? And I have a nanny and I have grandparents and I have the village, the part of my village that doesn't do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, I have purchased.
Yes.
Like I bought the village that I needed.
Totally.
That's fine. And even then, I'm just like, what do you want me to do with this one?
Correct.
Would you really think I'm going to take this one to a birthday party and do what with the little one? Like, they're a package deal. So what is that? 2 more slices of pizza? I will pay for his way. It's fine. But like, I don't want him to not go. But then as the host also, it's like, what is the age difference with these kids? Because if I'm doing, like, for example, with me, my age difference with my brother, let's say I'm hosting an 11-year-old's birthday party and I get like 4, 5, 6, 3-year-olds. What do I, as a host, do with these 3-year-olds?
Yeah.
As a host, I would feel like now I'm not accommodating these other kids. And then I would feel like I could have created blah, 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 something. You know what I mean? It's so hard. I don't know what the answer is.
I'll help you.
Please. What am I going to do when my little kid starts going to birthday parties outside his cousins?
I'll tell you, you're going to learn in real time. Like, don't worry about it now because I was you.
Yeah.
But then lots of funny things happen.
Okay.
You'll find that it'll happen with other parents.
Okay.
For good reasons. Because the cool places that have birthday parties, there's a maximum amount of kids allowed.
Okay.
So sometimes it's out of your control, which we hate.
Right.
So then you have to decide number-wise whether or not up front, and a lot of time you're in group chats or you're sending the evite and you literally have to write, I'm sorry, no siblings. And it's a number thing.
Yeah.
The parents understand. I promise you they do.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, there's the age gap. Because sometimes, like my son who's 6 had a huge science-y kind of birthday, the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds,
they have no idea.
it's dangerous. It's almost dangerous.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then there's the other part of it too, whereas me, I love being with the 2 boys.
Yeah.
So like we went to a pool party yesterday and thankfully both were invited. But the answer is that a lot of times it's a play-by-play. It's a never easy decision, but it does get easier because you also are very good at this. You were talking about boundaries. And so it gets to a point where you're just like, I can't care about this right now. I have to throw a birthday party. And it's tricky, but then for you, you just get an open space, but when and I see that for your 3-year-old who's going to be one day 6, when they're like hone in on whether it's like art and they want to go to an art space, you can only fit 20 kids.
Yeah.
So I have a birthday party for my younger one and the older one's not invited. And it just is because of numbers, whether the place will tell you it's a fire hazard or whatever. There's all these different things.
Yeah.
But museums, movie theaters, I'm just letting you know, don't go to these places if you feel that way. Arts, music, like they just don't allow it.
Yeah.
And so I've been everywhere. I'm like literally watching a mirror because I've been everywhere your mind just went to. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm inviting everyone. More food, more people, the better.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work out. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know if you love that answer, but that's
I don't love that answer.
That's what it is.
Because I wouldn't do a birthday party with my 3-year-old where the oldest wasn't invited, like his older sibling wasn't invited.
Right. But then you also have to think about it to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Not everyone's sibling, like you said, is age appropriate. So then you're inviting someone else's sibling, but not someone else's sibling.
Yeah.
So not to go crazy, there's all those things.
All those things.
Talking about being a mom in real time. And you know what it is? You know why we're doing this, Gigi? Talking about businesses is because of the entrepreneur brain.
Yeah.
How do I solve this problem?
Absolutely.
How do I throw a party, which is like making a business, where I'm maximizing and everyone's happening, and everyone's happy, and everyone's getting, and everyone's doing?
Yeah.
But the right answer doesn't exist. Is the truth.
It doesn't exist, and it's so interesting. You just said this really great line where it's like, I don't have time to worry about this today.
Yes,
like, I feel like I say that at least once a day.
Yes,
about something or another, and like it's a lot of stuff, man.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. It's hard. It's so many little things because in the grand scheme of parenting, that's such a small thing.
Correct.
But also when you're in the mom chats and the moms are like, oh, but she's not going to invite the siblings, blah, blah, blah. Which is why I'm not in any mom chats. I have like 0 mom chats. Do not invite me to any mom chats. I don't want to be in them. If you want me present, just text me personally, directly, and be like, hey, G, you want to come? Bring 1 kid. Great. That's fine. Whatever your rules are, I respect everybody else's rules. But like, I can't do the mom chat thing because I feel like it just gets so like this. I can't do it.
I know. I'm class mom for both boys. Don't ask me why
or
how.
Your husband told me about that when I was on his podcast, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, that's gonna be me because I love being involved.
That's me.
And if there's somebody making decisions, it's gonna be me. And if I'm gonna be
watching
in charge
a
of
mirror,
the vote,
Gigi. I'm telling you.
And so I'm like, I don't want to be in the mom chats, and then it's like I'm gonna be the one opening the mom chat.
Yeah, you're gonna be hosting it. Well, also because I'm literally watching a mirror. You want to navigate and foster and make sure people are appropriate in the chats.
Yeah.
So give it some time. Talk about PTO. I'm on PTO in both.
I don't have time to worry about this today.
You do not. You do not, girl.
I don't have time to worry about this today.
And you know what I love that you said that I really am still learning about myself? It happened to me today.
What's that?
Honoring how I'm feeling. My time is valuable. For example, like this morning, I was really guilty. Twofold, work and kids. My kids are home. But I was really anxious. And I'm like, I started loving yoga. That's my new thing. And I'm like, no, I got to go. And, but I got the question from the husband, like, wait, but you're going? But I have to do X, Y, and Z. And automatically I'm like, well, you have to do X, Y, and Z. But you want me to be here for the kids and make the breakfast and do this. Where do you think this is coming from?
On a joint calendar.
So I, was like, you know what? I'll call back up. And thank God all parents now are in Florida. I'm like, hey, come over at 8 o'clock, hang out with the kids. He can do whatever he wants. He's still home. I feel good, but I'm going. Yeah. And I went, and it was the best thing. But I'm still learning about that, about myself. Yeah. The worthiness, when do I put the phone down because I'm not answering work email anymore because we're in charge all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Versus the kids are watching us. Now my 3-year-old tells me to put my phone down and I want to die. Oh. And the 6-year-old understands a little more because you get nice things, mommy works. Like, what do you want from me? And I say that all the time. We're human. Mommy's got to work. Give me a second.
Yeah.
The 3 age thing is tricky. But when they say that, I'm like,
that very much.
Fudge,
he's just starting to come to terms with that. But my son will tell me, if I'm on the phone with him, he'll be like, "Mama, mírame."
I know.
Be like, "Mom, look at me."
I know.
It's like,
I get it all the time.
oh,
Which is, you know what,
sorry.
an incredible message. I recently broke up with my Apple Watch because I was always,
Yep.
and I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And it gave me anxiety. I noticed.
Yeah.
Like that was another thing, noticing that I was getting anxiety
Yeah.
because, like you said it. Everyone wants you.
You have access.
Yes,
Your
too
access
much
all the time.
access.
I don't do that. I have an Apple Watch. I wear it. There are only some instances when I wear it for events
Okay.
because I host a lot of events, and if anything is going on and
That
I'm
makes
on
sense.
stage,
Yes.
and I'm like
You
at
need
it,
real time.
I need to just look and say, all right, then that's
Yes.
what we're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I love that.
So that's one thing. And
Fair.
then the other time I wear it is if I'm going to be away from the kids and like someone's sick or, well, not even that, like someone like teething or something like that.
Yes.
Or when my parents have been
Yep.
sick, or when, like, if I'm not going to be on my phone,
Fair.
I'll have it on.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time I want you to have access to
Yeah.
me. If I'm like hosting an event, if
Yeah.
I'm not like,
I get it.
but other than that,
Yeah.
I can't. I cut that access out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it happened. It happened thanks to my clients.
Okay.
Thanks to clients who didn't know boundaries.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I used to have a fully booked out schedule,
Okay.
right? That's what everybody tells you is the definition of success, being completely booked out.
Yes.
Then I got pregnant and I was like, I knew one of the reasons why I didn't plan to have kids
Yeah.
was because I knew exactly the kind of mom that I wanted to be. I wanted to be present. I wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
I wanted to be hands-on. I didn't want my kids to be raised outside of my house. I wanted them to be under my supervision. I wanted one.
Right.
And so when I got pregnant, I had a fully booked out calendar, and these are one-to-one clients. And so at the time, the one-to-one offer included access to me. So like if you were making
Yeah.
any sort of real-time decision, or like you were in the middle of something, you could reach out to me and I would like voice coach you through some
Yes,
stuff or
yes.
whatever. And then some clients really, and I had some boundaries for it,
Right.
like, try to keep this within office, like
Business.
technical
Yes.
office hours.
Not 2 a.m.
If it's something that happens, if it's something urgent, then I can, of
Right.
course I'm going to look at my phone.
Right.
But people confuse urgent with important.
Yes.
And your urgency does not make it important, especially not for me. And
Yeah.
so I stopped
love
doing
that.
that part very early on. And then, this is going to sound terrible, but like, I'm a lot of people's go-tos that I shouldn't be.
Okay.
And I'm a lot of people's go-to sometimes that are it's like lazy behavior. It's like,
Yeah.
you can Google this.
Yes.
You do not need I do not need to put my energy in this
Yeah.
right now because
Yeah.
you can Google it.
Yeah. You became a
You're
crutch.
not inept. Yes.
More than a coach.
Yeah.
I've
and no,
so many
these
times.
are not my clients. This is
Oh,
like
not
personal
even.
relationships. No, these
Even
are like
worse.
personal. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're paying me, I got you.
I
boo.
was
Like,
gonna say.
this is the exchange.
Right.
But no, I'm talking about like outside of my clients.
Yeah, that's
people
rough.
like in family and like friends and stuff like that. That it was just like, well, Gigi has time, so let's just put it
Yeah.
on her. But like Gigi's always talking about like how she could do whatever she wants on a random Tuesday. What's that
Right.
random Tuesday thing she says? Well, just put it on her. Like
Yeah,
just have her.
yeah.
And it's like, no.
Right.
You do not get to be on Gigi's calendar unless you're paying for that time.
Yeah.
And you do not get to put things on me that I have not accepted. And so very early on, I was able to like,
I love
my
that.
energy is it's the only thing I got.
Yes.
All I have is my time and my energy.
Yes.
Everything else I can replace.
I love
But my
that.
time and my energy I cannot replace.
Yeah.
And so you cannot take it. I have to choose to give it to you.
And that is still new for me. I want to say maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
Where I understood the best thing that I realized that I was suffering from anxiety is because I was not listening to that.
Yeah.
And I had a therapist tell me that, and I like say it over and over because it's still to this day, it helps me when I'm like, no. Why are you having anxiety? Okay, let's unpack this. It's because you really don't want to do this.
Yep.
Or like you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to have the energy. You're exhausted. That's okay. You're human. Like all the things that I have to go through to honor myself, which sometimes I'm like, girl, let it go. But it's really hard.
It is.
But
It
like
can be,
like
yeah.
you said, the boundaries are so hard. But then talking about being an entrepreneur, like, I want to have that conversation with you because I love everything that you're saying because I was there. And you have a way better handle on it than I did. But I agree with you.
So.
When I was, when I started my business when I was about to have my first child. So it was 2 babies at the same time.
Yeah.
Then there was COVID. That was a nightmare. So we're all home together. That's for another conversation of how I was going to kill everyone and myself. We're okay.
Yeah.
But like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the hardest part because you kind of touched upon it on too, like as well. What does success mean? And we often look at, the numbers, how many clients, how much we're making. Again, do we have all the answers? We want to have all the answers. We want people to come to us as the authority and the knowing, and I'm so good at what I do. Of course you should come to me. But that's freaking exhausting.
Yeah. The whole thing about success and like what does success mean, I ended up in a hospital because of that.
Wow.
Because for me at first, success was, the definition of success was given to me.
Yes.
By the things that mattered around me.
Yes.
So for my mom, as we're immigrants, I wasn't born here, I was born in Cuba.
Yes.
I came when I was 10. So my mom was like, I brought you here to have a better life, all that immigrant pressure, which is great, I'm thankful. And it was like my mom's definition of success is college and degrees.
Yes.
So I went and I did that.
Yep.
Got 2 of them. My industry's definition of success, so when I was doing radio and television, it was, for radio, it's like the morning show.
Okay.
That's like the hot spot is the
Yes.
morning show because that's when
Yes.
everybody's in their car driving to work. So that's when, that happens. Or the afternoon drive. So morning show means you're up at the ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
Right? Like the sun's not out, the birds are not chirping, and you've already had your first coffee.
Yes.
Because you have to, you want to show prep. You want to make sure that anything that you prepped the day before is still even important today.
Correct.
And you're like, the first thing you say into a microphone is at 6 a.m. Sometimes some morning shows start at 5:30.
Yeah.
So
That's rough.
if it's either, and then on TV, it's either like news or sports.
Correct.
Right? Like that's where either like, that's the spot. That's the successful person, right? And I was doing all of those things and I was doing them all at the same time. And I literally burnt out so bad that I lost my vision driving on the highway one day. And I could hear cars zooming by and I couldn't see anything. And of course,
Were you able to, you got to tell me this now.
I was
you were able to
I
pull
didn't hurt
over.
myself or anybody else.
Thank
I
God.
found my way off like to the emergency lane and it was good. But then, fast forward, it's like, what do I have, right? Like, do I have like lupus? Is it a tumor? Is it all these things? You're like going crazy. I'm going for blood work. I'm going for all the things.
Yeah.
And everything that's coming back is just like, you're depleted.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Right.
You cannot live on energy drinks and protein bars. You need to sleep. You need to eat proper food and you just need to stop because right now, your body's just giving you signs of depletion. But if you keep going down this I had skipped my period for 3 months and I wasn't worried.
That's a big sign.
Because I wasn't with anybody.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't mind not having a period. This is fucking great.
Right.
And so I didn't even nothing fazed me because I was on paper.
Yeah.
I was so successful. I was living the life. My bank account was juicy. Everything was great.
Right.
I was just tired, but I was 20-year-old, 30-year-old tired. What is that, right? Like, whatever. Take a 20-minute cat nap in the car before I go to the next thing, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But what I realized after that health scare was that so often we pursue everyone else's definition of success. It's given to us from childhood.
Yeah.
And we never stop to ask, what do I think is success?
Yeah.
And when I did that, so many things came through for me that were the complete opposite of what I was living. Prime example. For me, success meant I could wake up and not have to rush anywhere.
Yes. Yes,
and still have a decent bank account.
Yeah.
Right? And so I asked for middays, which is technically, after overnights, it's technically the worst shift on radio.
Okay.
Right? Like, you could, it's arguable. So all my radio people, don't come at me. I don't have time for that right now. I'm not gonna argue with you. Get off my comments. I'm already like, get out of my DMs. But arguably, it's not like the hot spot,
Right.
It's not morning drive. It's not afternoon drive.
Right.
It's like, it's not nighttime. It's just the middle of the day. It's not like a hot place to be. And when I got onto middays, that shift is like from 10 to 3.
Okay.
Dude, I was the happiest I've ever been.
I know.
Working a regular job, right? And it was phenomenal because I had my mornings. I could wake up slow.
Yeah.
And then at 3 o'clock, I was able to live a life. I didn't have to, when I was waking up at 4 something in the morning, dude, I had to be in bed by 7. To be functional the next day, happy
7.
hour. Are you crazy? I have 2 drinks and I won't be able to function tomorrow.
No.
So all of those things completely changed. And then I remember I used to drive a Benz and all the things. And then it was like my car, the first time it broke, the Benz, it was just always broken. And I was like, I don't have time for these bougie cars that are just
That's
not.
what it is, yeah.
I don't want this.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's like, what do I don't care what I don't care about cars.
Right.
I took out a Benz because it's like what you're supposed to drive if you're like a certain income bracket, you're supposed to drive a Benz, right? You
All
do what
image,
you're supposed to
yeah.
do, right? And then I was like, this car doesn't make me happy. It doesn't drive the way I want it to drive. I mean, it looks pretty. Everybody looks at it. I don't look at it. I don't look at this fucking car. From the inside, it looks the same as my Kia.
Right.
And then I realized, I'm like, so what to me feels like success? And it was like, I want a cleaning lady.
I love that.
I want somebody else to cook my food.
Yes.
I want to be able to enjoy myself. Like, I want to just go do things that I'm going to remember.
Yes.
Like, if you asked me right now what kind of Benz it was, I could not tell you.
Funny.
I know it was like an SUV. I couldn't tell you because that's how little it truly mattered.
Right.
Because it wasn't mine. It wasn't from my desire. It wasn't like my desire is this.
Yes.
Now, if your desire is a Benz, baby, go for it.
100%.
Do it today. Stop thinking about it. Get the biggest, bestest one. There's one that has like a little slot on the bottom for your purse. Get that one.
Yes.
That's perfect. But it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
And so the point isn't whether you drive the Benz or not. The point isn't whether you have the cleaning lady or the nanny. The point is, what is your definition of success?
I love that.
And I was just having this conversation with a client the other day. We were on a coaching call. And she was telling me she was working with another coach for like spiritual things.
Okay.
Right. And I was like, yeah, cool. I don't really do that part. I bring a lot of spirituality into my coaching, but like she wanted like all these other, I'm like, I don't do that.
Yes.
So great. How's it going? I'm like, should I hire her? She's like, yeah, she's so good.
Amazing.
And so we're talking about all these things. And then somehow the conversation got into like trust and integrity.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, in any industry, but especially in the coaching industry, there's a lot of people who don't have the integrity and they'll say one thing and it's really another.
100%.
And she's like, she brought up a really good point where it's like, yeah, I hired you because of your lifestyle. And I was like, what do you mean? It didn't click with me right away.
Right.
And she was like, well, I've been in your ecosystem for a really long time.
Okay.
So I've seen you show up at places. I've seen the way that you carry yourself. I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, but that's not lifestyle. That's just my expertise.
Right.
Like, I talk like this all day, even
Yeah.
when I'm in my pajamas with no makeup on. This is still what I sound like. This is still what I talk about all day long.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, but there's a difference between showing me a screenshot of the income on like your Stripe account or whatever, which is out of context because I don't know how much your overhead is, what's your profit margin from that or any of that. And see you show up at an event with a nanny for each kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. I bring a nanny for each kid because I don't want to get in the fucking way of your event.
Yeah.
So if I have to bring sometimes I don't want my kids to be home sometimes, or we're like stopping by and then we're going somewhere else, or I just want the help. And it's like a kids event. Sometimes I bring a nanny with me to the kids event.
I've done it many times.
Yo, I'm not trying to chase after these two and my 3-year, and especially with the C-section and the 5-month-old. I'm like, I wasn't trying to run after the 3-year-old. Still healing, but he needs to be safe. So if somebody needs to run after him,
I love that.
So I'll bring a nanny. I never thought of it like a flex.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. And she's like, you spent a month in Europe and you didn't post anything about work for a month. She's like, I pay attention to what you post.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I did do that. And I thought about it and it's like that part.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you?
Yeah.
For you, is it having the support? Is it like, for me, being able to pay for my tribe is key.
Yeah.
I love my parents to pieces. They do not parent my kids the way that I want them to. And that's okay.
Yes.
So they can see them for recreational purposes, but they can't take care of them, Monday through Friday while I'm working. Nor should they. They're my kids.
Yes.
They're mine.
Let them
I
be
had them. My parents have their own
grandparents.
business. They can go be grandparents and they can spoil them and do all the wrong things to them.
Exactly.
Occasionally when when they're together in that way. But what is your definition of success? Because if you look at those things, I drive a Kia. And you know what the best part is? Yesterday, my husband sent me these 3 links and he's like, look at these when you have a chance. It's time to upgrade our car.
Okay.
We can't be in this. I drive a Kia Sportage. We can't be in the Kia anymore because it's just not comfortable in the back seat with the 2
Yes.
car seats, and then like you have to squeeze in the middle. I see you back there, you're not comfortable. We need to upgrade the car. I'm like, oh, to upgrade the car. I don't like car shopping. Cars mean nothing to, like, cars don't do anything for, I don't care. I have 2 requirements. It has to have an AC. No, I have 3 requirements. It has to have an AC, has to have a sunroof, and I have to be able to plug in my map to it because I do not know my way around any. I get confused driving
I think
in Publix.
those are great qualifications.
That's it. If it has that, I do not care if it's, I don't care what it is. You know what my husband sent me? 3 Kias. He's like, we're either going for the Carnival hybrid, some shit or another, or the Carnival blah, 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 that has something.
Right.
And I'm looking and I'm like, that one has the middle seat in the back and that one has a sunroof. It's the one with the sunroof and the middle seat in the back. And it's the best feeling because what we're also contemplating is getting a chef to cook for us.
Yes.
Because I don't like to cook every day and I don't. I meal prep.
Yeah.
So I do like 2 days out of the week. I'll cook for like 3 hours and make 6 different types of foods and I package everything and everybody has food all the time. Yeah. And when my 3-year-old is like, I don't want chicken, I want beef, I don't want this, I want, there's something for him to eat all the time and I don't have to make it.
Yep.
And I have control of their food. Like I control that they're eating better than they would be if I was ordering Uber Eats all the time or taking them out all the time.
Yep.
So I do that and my husband was like, babe, I like cooking. I just don't like to do it every day and I don't like to do it as a must. He's like, babe, but if we were to bring someone to cook, wouldn't it be more profitable if you were able to focus on your business those 3 hours and do the stuff that you're doing versus cooking?
Right.
And I just sat there. My husband is the best. And I just sat there and I'm like, yeah, we'd definitely make more money than what we'd be paying this person to come in once a week. Yeah. They're not going to live in with me. Right. But it's like that, being able to do that to me feels more successful because now I have more time. And maybe I won't always use that time for work, but I'll use that time to be with my kids. Yeah. You know,
fill your cup in any way that you need.
or go to yoga or do whatever else I decide to do, you know, physically to get this body in order. And it's like, that to me is a bigger ROI and it feels like a bigger success than driving the Benz.
I agree.
Or than and also it's important to say, if it matters to you to have these comforts and drive the Benz, then also do both. Yes. Do both. Yes. If you love a Benz and you love a nanny, do you.
I mean, you're literally speaking my love language. Like we don't know each other, but you're already my best friend because everything that you're saying, I think the beauty, I love hearing you because you say it so confidently. And I'm so thankful to have you on because I think as a mom, that's the balance that we're all looking for. Realizing that it's okay to ask for help. That is part of your tribe. I'm the same. I have cleaning women that come twice a week. I now have someone that helps me with laundry. And while she's doing the laundry, she's helping me meal prep. So that there's always like rice and beans and then I'll cook the protein. Or vice versa. The protein's ready and I'll do a side. Yeah. But you know what it is? For me, I agree with you 100%. What does success look like? Like I do have a BMW, but I love it.
Do you?
Really, only the biggest parts for me, it's funny that you say it, the way to take care of my car is exceptional. Yeah. And so like that for me was huge. I feel I was in a car accident and I really do feel that the BMW I was in at the time saved my life. I was pregnant. It was like a whole thing. Oh. So I'm that's it. Like I never felt safer. Yeah. Like the headrest came and supported me. I didn't have whiplash, like the whole thing. I love that. Like I'm a commercial for BMW. I really feel like it saved my life. That's neither here nor there.
I love that.
But I'm the same thing. I had, I like my mom-mobile. I call my mom-mobile. It's always dirty. It looks great, but it's always filthy, and that's how I live, and I'm okay. My kids, I let them eat in the car. Like that, those are the things, right? But I have my third row. It's a giant car. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. That's for me. But then what you're saying, like that is the most incredible part, especially that was my struggle too with having 2 kids, having kids in general. Like you said, it doesn't get easier. I'm sorry, whoever said that, whoever said the first one is hard, the second one's harder sometimes. Third one doesn't get easier. Some people will say that the third one's the easiest.
I'm not.
You're adding another kid. Nothing about it is easy.
I'm not curious.
Please.
I'm good. I'll take your word for it.
Yes. And the beautiful part is I have friends that will tell me that had a third kid and they were like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I respect you so much for saying that. Yeah. Don't paint me this picture of, and now I grew my family. No.
I think some people mean it, and that's cool. I also think that some moms feel a certain type of way about stuff.
Okay.
And they're afraid to say it because I don't think that there is a single group of humans on this planet that gets judged harder or worse than moms.
I agree.
By moms.
Yes.
Y'all are cruel.
Yes. Women in general
are cruel.
Cruel.
And I think that it is such a disservice because, number one, I refuse to believe that every mom in the world hasn't struggled to some degree about some part of motherhood.
Absolutely.
The fact that you didn't struggle with this part of motherhood, whatever this part might be, doesn't mean that somebody else who struggles with that part of motherhood is lying or doesn't deserve to have their struggle honored and vice versa.
Or it didn't happen yet.
Right, or it didn't happen yet. And all parts of complaining or crying about or whatever about those struggles, two things can be true at the same time. You can love your children and you can also feel like this is the hardest thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
You can love your children and also feel like, I don't know if I made a mistake becoming a mom sometimes because this is a lot of responsibility and I worry I'm doing it wrong. If that's what you're thinking, that is a sign that you are in fact doing it right. The fact that you're even considering it, but we can feel that, right? Yes. And it's also can be true at the same time that you love your children and that you hate a particular part of being a parent. I love my two boys.
Absolutely.
I hate that they're always bumping into me, scratching me, pulling me, tugging on me, and they're always fucking filthy and they always get me dirty. Like, but I love the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I adore them.
Yeah.
I'd both kill for them and live for them, like that reel says, right? And I hate that they always get me dirty.
Yeah.
So we have this really crappy tendency to want to put everything in boxes.
Yeah.
And life is not in boxes.
It's true.
Life is gray.
Correct.
And all of the things fit and all of the things are true and all of the things are good and all of the things are bad and all of the things exist at the same fucking time. It's why it's so exhausting.
Yeah.
It's why it's so challenging to be a human. It's why it's so challenging to be a good human.
It is.
And so I really hate to hear moms come down on each other for anything.
Yeah.
You know, like motherhood is hard enough.
Yes. And we
you
all
chose
have
the water birth,
needs.
good for you. You chose the C-section, good for you. You labored for 30 hours like I did trying to VBAC and failed because you only dilated 4 centimeters. Good for you. Yes. Like, do you love your kids? That's all that matters.
Right.
Are you feeding them and keeping them safe?
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just we're doing our best out here, you know?
I love that. And it's also, it's all of those things. And the beautiful thing I find also as my kids grow, they're teaching me how to be a child again. I, didn't have the best childhood, still healing from so many things, but they put in perspective for me.
Yeah.
It is the little person saying, Daniela, put your phone down. And you know what? That's so good for me. And I listen because that is good for me. Yeah. Because again, as an entrepreneur, I want to answer. I want to put out all the fires. Someone needs me and I feel like, oh man, they need, but your kids need you. You need you. Yeah. And that took me, again, till recently. And I've had a business since 2017, 2018. So we're almost 10 years in. Yeah. And I just learned this work-life balance, which I think is so funny because why do we become entrepreneurs? You said it. Like, oh, we don't want to work this 9 to 5 and we want to have all this freedom and all this stuff. But behind the scenes, people are not seeing the hours and you know what it is? It's more than the doing. The equal bit that the moms have as well, it's all the brain power. It's the thinking what we're eating, the thinking about the grocery shopping, the thinking about what I'm packing for camp, the thinking about my staff. How do they feel? Did I say the right thing? Did I answer the email fast enough? Did I say the right thing in the email? It's the thinking and thinking and thinking that I finally found to be like the common denominator. Why am I always fucking tired? Because my brain doesn't ever shut off. So that's why we're on the phone. And I love those reels that are like, well, the mom's probably on the phone because they're doing the doctor's, like all of it. The doctor's appointment, the school forms, the grocery shopping, because now we do Instacart. And like, that is what I'm doing on my phone. But then, like you said, the experiential things. I always say you don't die with your money. And if you're not healthy, you're not making money and can't enjoy your money. So there's that. That's so true.
Yep.
Like, I was depressed, I was anxious, I was all the things, and I couldn't figure it out. But I was afraid to ask for help. I didn't want to ask for my husband because I felt less. I have to be a good mom. I'm supposed to do it, and I'm supposed to love this. I hated being a mom.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't figure it out. Like once I figured it out with Luke, I was good, and then I was able to do it with Oliver, my second.
Yeah.
But there was trauma I was going through. There was like a ton of bullshit.
Becoming a mom is hard.
It was so freaking hard. And we don't support each other enough, talk to each other. Like, and you know what the funny thing is I found out also is other women are saying, oh yeah, I sympathize with you, but we'll never say it out loud. And like, it's so lonely.
I think it's what I said earlier. Women are just really scared of being judged.
Yeah.
And this is a completely different thing where it's like we have been given you have to be perfect, you have to be fit, you have to be this, you have to be that. We are judged all the time socially. Moms are not, just women in general are judged for everything we do. If we age gracefully, it's because you have wrinkles. If you do the Botox, it's because you do the Botox. If you work out, it's because you work out too hard. And if you get tits, it's because you got tits. If you're natural, it's because you're sagging.
Correct.
Like, we're just judged and judged and judged. And so when it comes to motherhood, which is the hardest thing any of us have ever done, I will die on that sword. I don't care how good you are at motherhood. It's the hardest thing ever if you're doing it right. It's really hard to be judged on that. It's really hard to be told, oh, that? Yeah. And looked at in that way when I also feel that being judged on the other layers, like whether or not you do this, that, or the other, is a little bit easier to brush off because it's so superficial. Yeah. But motherhood is the most disruptive thing that happens in your life because it changes your entire fucking identity. Like your literal physical brain changes. That physically changes.
Literally.
Your entire chemical composition changes.
Absolutely.
You become a different human. Yep. And so you're figuring that out at the same time that you're figuring out how to keep this other human alive. Yep. And so it's really hard in that moment to say, I don't like this, I suck at this is hard, or this is whatever, and have somebody say, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that. Yeah. And show no empathy. And so we just stay quiet because I don't want you to kick me while I'm down.
Yeah. It's so
bad.
true.
It's terrible. It's why moms need therapists. Well, I believe that if you do not have if you're pregnant right now, stop looking for car seats. Stop looking for the perfect crib. Stop looking for the little green thing on the paint. It does not matter. Get a therapist.
I agree.
Get to know your therapist today.
I agree.
And worry about all those other things later. Your kid's going to end up sleeping in your bed anyway. I don't care if you're like, I'm never going to bed share. You are. And none of that matters. Your baby can sleep on the floor, will be safer than if you do not have a therapist to help you through the mental stress.
I agree.
That becoming a mom induces.
Yes.
Get a therapist.
I agree. I mean, I tell everyone, I'm a therapist who does therapy. I've done every kind of acronym of therapy. I love therapy.
First of all, if you're a therapist who does not do therapy, you're out of integrity, you're a liar, and you should have no clients.
Fair. Thank you.
I'll say it.
Yes.
I don't care. Same as if you're a coach who does not get coached.
Yeah.
Same as if you're a doctor who does not go to the doctor.
Right.
Like, you cannot be in integrity and say, pay me for this service, but it's not a service I'd pay for myself.
Correct.
You cannot own a fast food restaurant and not eat there. You cannot own a line of clothes and not wear it. Yeah. Like, that is so far out of integrity. I agree. That I can't. Yeah. I just can't.
I can't. I agree with you. And like, man, everything you're saying just like hits home, and I know that we're helping women right now that will watch this, and like that's always my goal because I'm like, you know what,
we're really pissing them off.
It's one or the other. That's okay too because you know what it means. It means that they were really secretly questioning all those things, and they were like, "Fuck, they were right." But the truth is, like, we're all gonna learn. we're learning as we go. I love that you said, and I always say that, like, if you're even thinking about it, am I doing this right or wrong? You're already doing it right. You're already a good mom. You're already a good whatever. If you're thinking about it and you're like, how can I make this better? Or am I doing the right thing? You're already a good human. Like, that's where it starts. Yeah. And I guess it's just like a learning. It's a learning curve. The whole thing's a learning curve. Your little people are learning how to be humans when we're still learning how to be human. Like, I had to recognize that also. I'm like, I am still learning what it means to be a strong, independent woman that actually likes myself, that actually is proud, that actually has worth. Like, all of those womanly, garbagey things that, like, really fucking suck, that, like, really are a thing for all of us, I would say. And again, we can debate if people say, like, no, my life was perfect the whole time, because, you know, there's that. But it's like just taking a step back, like honoring, like you said, the boundary, the energy. Yeah, I'm going to fuck up. And you know what I learned from my kids? That it's okay. I had a really big issue with failure. Like every test that I took in college, for example, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. And it didn't matter. I got an A, the one before and the one before that. There was no validation. The next one, it was going to be the one I failed. But I equated failure with not having success. And what I learned is that the failure is part of it. It's like, and that's what I learned about kids. That's, I think, the one thing that I finally am learning, and through therapy, through my therapist who told me, and that changed my whole perspective, look at your 3-year-old on how to live. Meaning, that is the most raw, genuine way of being human. They cry when they, you know, feel, but in 2 seconds, life is good. So again, don't hold on to that mood. Don't hold on to that thought. They're happy. Be happy with them. Like, they don't understand the consequence. Clearly, we're adults. We have to understand the consequence. But I thought it was so beautiful because a lot of, like you said, raising my younger brother, coming from a family where my mother was a single mother, I was the mother. I was the grown-up at 7. So looking at him and being like, oh, that's what childhood's supposed to be like, is gorgeous. It's just like, whenever I'm upset, and like I try to come back to that, and I'm like, I sit with my kids. I love that you do that with your son, because like sometimes I just sit next to them and I like want to feel their energy. They're just chilling. Mom, I'm hungry. Okay, let's go to the pantry. Let's just play this game. Oh, did you see what I made? Oh, this fun fact. And I'm like, And if you can just sit with that, when I sit with that, I'm like, oh, this is really living. Like, it's all the things that we do. I love that. We went to Europe also for a week, and it's like, I made a promise to myself that I would detach. And I'm like, listen, if my business goes under because I went on vacation, I'm doing something wrong anyway.
Yep.
So let's test that shit out. And it was great. And for the first time I could breathe, I was on a different time zone. So I'm like, I'm not going to answer. Yeah. Let's see what will happen. Guess what? Nothing happened. Everything was fine. Yeah. Everything was the same when I returned. But it's all of the stress that we put on. And I'm like, another thing, I wonder if this happened to you, but I had to remember I'm the boss. Like, I don't have to answer in life, right? In our business, but in life, like, Gigi's running the ship for Gigi. Daniela's running the ship for Daniela. The moms are running the ship at home. And it's like, you gotta find the balance and the wholesomeness, because then it's 2 seconds to burn out. I mean, like, everything we just named, I'm tired. And it's wild, these expectations. I love your explanation of success. It is, what is that for you? And every woman, every person should really like come to that internally, because that's the double-edged sword also of social media, that we're all looking at these perfect lives that were 20, 30 takes.
But I think, but also I think you need to be objective about what you're looking at, because they're not perfect. It's like the whole thing
agreed
right now with like this whole movement about like the trad wife, right? And you have the girl that's in the kitchen cooking, and they're like, oh, I choose my family over and over again over my corporate job. And it's like, sister, you are making money with this content. Yeah. You are sponsored with this content. Yes. You are getting views and clicks with this content. You are, in fact, not a trad wife, my friend. You just know how to bake sourdough bread. That is not trad wifing. Trad wifing ain't got none of her own money.
Yeah.
She does not have her own bank account.
Right.
Her husband manages everything in the house, and all you're doing is you're home and you stay home and you're cooking and taking care of these kids. And it is wonderful. It is wonderful. It is a great decision if that's what makes you happy.
Right.
But do not mix up the messaging of what you're actually doing with what you're saying.
Touché.
And the lack of discernment that some women are having these days when they look at that and they're like, yeah, because I just really, women do feel very detached from their children because when you have to be out of the house to work, it is hard.
It is.
I'm home all day with my kids. I work from home. And when I leave the house for 3 hours, I'm like, I miss my babies. I wonder if they think I'm abandoning them. They don't.
No.
They do not.
They don't. They have no concept of time.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
It doesn't matter. And when they do have a concept of time, I want them to see what an independent, strong woman who makes her own money looks and feels like, so that they choose a woman like that.
Amen.
A woman who's going to also bring a whole, healing, imperfect, boundless, limitless, imaginary, exploding of ideas person to the table. I want them to marry a woman like that because they deserve that, right?
Yes.
And the two things being true at the same time, it's hard to leave my babies. Now, I have created a life of privilege for myself where I, as an immigrant, was able to launch my businesses and I can hire somebody to be home with me, to take care of them the way I want them taken care of, to feed them what I want them to eat, to do what I want for them. So I can go in that little office and work and come out and give them hugs and kisses when in between sessions, right? And I feel like this whole concept of like trad wifing and putting women back in the kitchen is playing on the emotions of those women who've had to go out to work or who've had to keep a 9-to-5 even if they don't want to. Because there's another reality that none of these reels and this like perfect lifestyle bullshit online touches upon, which is, for the most part, in most cities, at least in this country, one paycheck is not enough to raise a family of 4.
That's right.
Or even to raise a family of 3. Yeah. And so a lot of these women, they're not out there working because they want to be away from their kids or because they're neglecting their children. They're working because their children require uniforms and notebooks and all the other things. And and a lot of these women that maybe they're not working out at a 9-to-5, but they're running businesses and they're at their own offices. They have to pay for health insurance. They have to pay for all of these things that their children require in order to be healthy, strong, and have a good childhood. Yes. And so there's a manipulation of the emotion of the woman being away from the home happening with this whole concept of like, stop abandoning your family. Motherfucker, I'm not abandoning my family. I am making a life for my family, and that requires money and that requires my time. Right. Now, I've been able to create a structure in my business, which is what I teach other women to do, is to create a business structure that allows you more time while still being profitable in whatever your genius is. Not everybody has had the opportunity to do that and leave corporate and live that. Right. But this is in history. The highest number of women entrepreneurs exist right now in history because we've gotten tired of being pulled into 9-to-5s, and we are gifted and brilliant and able to do both. Yes. And so in history, this is the time when the most number of women have decided to have their own businesses. Now, whether that decision was made by them or it was made for them, after COVID, a lot of women couldn't go back to work. Sometimes women get sick of the whole, like, postpartum and maternity leave is nonsense. It's not paid and it's not long enough and it's too short and all the things. And they've decided to bring their genius into the private sector. Fuck yeah. Yeah. But don't sit here and create these reels telling women to just like go back in time to be in the kitchen when you're making money from this content. Number one, you're making money from this content that you're creating. And number two, you're guilt tripping women who are working because it is required for their livelihood, for their family. Some of these women are single moms, and some of these women have a super involved, phenomenal husband who requires her to work too because they need 2 paychecks because that's just what life costs these days. Absolutely. And it's not a political statement. It's a fucking fact. Yes. It's just, it's expensive. Yes. And so I don't, the whole like social media thing is a whole nother conversation for me because I feel like there's just, and as somebody who is trained as a professional to spot shit in the media. My first degree is sociology and anthropology. I understand the concept of how people create things, why groups of people do the things they do, and the influences around them.
Amazing.
It is a required course for media because we are part of the influence. Anytime you stand in front of one of these things, you have a responsibility to deliver a certain type of message in a certain type of way. That has been misconstrued, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But and abused, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. And so I can look at the overarching theme of this particular type of content, and it's miscommunicating. It's saying one thing and portraying another. Yeah. And so if you're really a trad wife, you're not going to be on your phone. You're not going to be on Instagram. You're not going to be posting reels of yourself cooking and look at my sourdough bread and
full of makeup.
DM me sourdough for the recipe, and then you're going to sell them a $7 PDF. Yeah. Like, yo, I support it. But say what it is. Call it what it is. Yes. You're a business owner too. Yeah. That's, it's the whole, what's on social media is just not even.
I agree. And you know what's funny too? Because I also know women that love their 9-to-5, that they
absolutely
decided, they have 1 or 2 kids. They're still great moms, but they're like, I like my routine. I like dropping them off. Absolutely. I like leaving. I like having my own identity. Absolutely. I like going to the office. I like not having to think of everything. Someone else tells me what to do because I have to think of everything at home.
Absolutely.
That's okay too.
We need all types. It's funny you said that because just this morning on the drive here, I was telling my husband, I called him for something else and I heard like his people talking in the background. And I was like, sometimes I miss, because I have a small team, but we don't work together.
Yes.
Like everyone is remote.
Yep.
Some people aren't even in the States.
Yep, same.
And I was like, man, sometimes for like 35 seconds, yes, I miss working in like corporate for that.
For the energy, for the
oh, hey, what's up? And
social,
like,
yes.
The people, having people. But then I remember when I worked in corporate.
I agree.
And people would open the door to my space. I was in a booth. It wasn't like an office, but like people would open it, and I would just like,
I remember.
Or are you here? Like, why are you in the
I'm
in the middle of my show. Go away.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
And so you just got to do what makes you happy. Again, it goes back to what is your definition of success?
I love that so much.
Does it make you happy to make sourdough? Do it.
Great.
You cannot catch me dead making fucking bread.
I get it.
Watch me.
I know.
Want to make bread in a year from now. But like, I can't. I love cooking. Don't come at me with baking. Yeah. I can't. It's too complicated. It overwhelms me. I can't do it. And that makes me happy. Yeah. Now, if you tell me you're selling your sourdough bread, I'm going to buy a dozen.
I love you.
I'm going to buy a dozen. I'm going to put a fucking bow on them. I'm going to gift them out to people. I'm going to put your card on them. I'm going to make sure they buy a dozen sourdough breads. But that's a business, baby.
Yes.
Okay?
100%.
That's a business. So it's what's on social media and what's true and what's not is just.
I agree.
I feel like that's a whole podcast episode.
It is. It is a whole, and it's funny because like each woman that I bring on, it's the same thing because our feed is different. So what you're targeted is not what I'm targeted. And so I start having these conversations with women. I'm like, we're ruining each other is part of it. Yeah. Because there is some content where you're like, wow, that was really helpful or that was really uplifting. Mm-hmm. But that is more rare than the other ones that wake up and I woke up with a perfect face because I wore 50 masks and castor oil this and I did this and I had the whole night to do this and this and I'm like
I think it's I'm
also exhausted watching them.
Yeah, but I also there's something else to consider there because I love me a castor oil girl online. I will listen. It's funny you say castor oil. I bought the castor oil.
Okay.
I used it once on my eyebrows and I completely forgot I had it.
Hysterical.
I am the worst girl for girl things.
Yes.
Like no. But I love watching all that shit.
Yeah.
Now what's important is being on the Seasons podcast. A lot of those girls are in a season that I am not in.
Fair.
A lot of these girls that are like, cause the mask and the thing is, they ain't got no kids. So they don't have a kid pulling at their mask or cool. Or a lot of them their kids are older.
Fair.
Or a lot of them I follow, I always forget her name, but she like pops, I don't follow, she like pops up on my feed. And she's like this older lady. Her kids are like 30, married off. But like she's ripped. Like she's always talking about her surgeries. She went on with her whole face like stitched together. She had stitches like everywhere. She looked like fucking Frankenstein. And she goes, this is what I look like the day after my surgery. And I was like, oh my God, what is she doing? She's like, she looks fucking splendid.
Yes.
So like now she's all healed.
But she's
like
real.
fantastic. She's all, and I'm just like, I want to be her when I grow up.
Right.
I wrote down the name of the doctor that did her facelift. Ask me where I wrote it because I have no idea. I don't know who did her facelift.
Right.
And I'm just like, when I need my facelift, I'm just gonna have, she's in California, I'm gonna have to go to California and find this doctor. I'm gonna do mine with her.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm gonna put my face stitched up online, but like, because who creates content like that? I'm like, this is the job. This is like and I love that, but they're in a different season.
That's fair.
And so it's also important that when we're watching these things and we're like, and we feel that like lack, that FOMO, that I'm behind or I don't know, or how can I, or why not me, or whatever the fuck it is you're feeling.
Yes.
It's important to stop and ask yourself, but is that my season?
Yes.
Because it may just like, I'll tell you right now, this is not my season to be at my most fit.
Yeah.
I just had a kid and my belly still is really sensitive. Like I wanted to go get a lymphatic massage the other day. I paid for a thing to get like a package or whatnot. And I still haven't booked it because I was like, let me just, because I've had those once, I think it was before I was going to get married. It wasn't a lymphatic massage. It was what the Colombian girls do with the wood.
Yes.
You
They do that. They use.
But it's not like a hand. What I bought now is like the hand thing.
one. That's what I was
They go
gonna
at you
try,
with like wood. Colombian women are a different species. That lady put that wood on me for it was like a 1 hour session. She did like 10 minutes. I was like, I'm out.
Stop
I'm
touching
out.
me.
Don't touch me with this shit. If he doesn't like the way I look in this wedding dress, that's a personal problem of his.
Right.
I'm not doing this. Right.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I'm like, I know this can be painful. So I like pressed on my belly and I was like, I still feel tenderness. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go sit through physical pain to do a lymphatic massage.
Right.
So then I was like, what if I tell her the pressure I want?
Yes.
Because sometimes,
Yes.
but what if it doesn't work? So in my brain, I was doing that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I know what season I'm in. I'm also still trying to breastfeed. Trying because my son won't latch in the mornings. Like something's wrong with my boobs when the sun's out. He only latches at night. If any lactation consultants, my lactation consultant can't explain it. If anybody else can, I'd appreciate your help. But this kid only latches in the middle of the night.
Funny.
It's so weird. Anyway, so like I can't diet right now.
Yeah.
I can't do weight loss, anything right now. So when I see the girls that are like, oh, the GLP-1 and the weight loss, and I lost 30 pounds and 50 pounds, and I'm skinny and hot, and I cannot allow myself to feel like a whale, even though I feel like a whale most of the time. I can't let that be like, oh my God, but because I am not in that season. I am in the season of feeding a human with my body. I make a la carte, custom-made food for another human.
You are a cook.
Dude,
GiGi,
I'm the shit.
You are.
You know that when they latch, your body reads their spit and makes what they need in real time. It's a la carte.
So you're an engineer on top of it.
I don't need a six-pack.
That's right.
I'm amazing.
You are.
You know?
And we should all honor that and feel that way. It's so true.
Yeah. And so it's like, watch the thing. And when you start feeling a certain type of way, ask yourself, but is that my season right now?
Yeah.
And if it's not, but you want it to be, then now you can make a decision, right? Like I can make the decision if I wanted to say like, you know what? He's 5 months. I'm done breastfeeding. I think he's fine. He's a chunky monkey. He does not need more breast milk. Like he's okay. He's healthy. All of his numbers are back good. I could transition him off the boob if I wanted to. If what I felt more compelled to do for my mental health and for my wellness was to get him off completely and go work out and do whatever I need to do and diet and whatever, then I can make that my season. But the problem is that we're often looking at what other people are doing and feeling FOMO without even asking ourselves. But is that for me? Is that the season I'm in? And so
it's such a good point.
Yeah. Social media is weird.
It is. And I love how honest and raw you are. And I want to highlight you. So tell me, I know that you're a coach. You mentioned now you're about to be an author, or you are an author.
Yeah, it's your husband's fault.
So tell us, because I love that for you. But you are just like, honestly, you're a rock star. Like your energy is incredible. Like this conversation, I want to scream sometimes like to the mountaintops to women that you're absolutely right. That like those women, maybe they went through it. Like thankfully that woman put that she had all this surgery. She owns it. She looks great, but because of that. So like, don't lose sight of how we got there. That's key. I love that you said that.
The in-between.
The in-between. It's so important.
Everywhere we got to, there was an in-between.
There was
season,
an in-between.
a transitional season in between that.
Yes.
So
So
got us
tell
there.
us, Gigi, now that you're in this in-between, more about what you're doing, because I know that you're doing so much to help women, and that's what Season's about. That's what womanhood should be about. Like, I honor, respect you. I think, like, I'm so happy that this happened all this time later, that you have your two beautiful kids. Call me for any parenting tips, because I've got the two boys.
Yes.
Anything you need,
all
but
the things.
you're killing it. And I want everyone to know more about what you're doing now. What does your success look like now?
So my success right now looks like my program, Simple Business System, helps women go from being overbooked. So you're booked out. Literally no one wants to be booked out with kids.
Yes.
So I help you to bring your expertise, your genius, into a signature program. So it's not another course. It's nothing like that. It's a high-end signature program where your expertise can have more reach. And so you can increase your revenue without increasing the time that you're spending in your business.
I love that.
So you go from one-to-one to one-to-many in a strategic way that helps you to do it without losing customers all at once. And I walk you through your first 2 launches so that you can do, I have a specific type of launch called a SHARP system that I created. And I walk you through that so you're not doing the figuring out on your own.
I love that.
That's my signature program. That's what I love to do because I see the women come in stressed out like I was, and then they come out and they're like, holy shit, this is just so much better.
Amazing.
And then I have a signature event that I do every year. It's called Move, Breathe, Grow, only for women entrepreneurs. Men are welcome to hang out too, but it's catered for women. This event is a retreat style experience. We're on our 4th one this year. It's going to be September 19th. And it's Move, Breathe, Grow. So we do movement, a different style of movement every year so that we can kind of relax our bodies, tap into our femininity, tap into our playfulness, soften up. We're so much in our masculine all the time, making all the decisions.
Yes.
Then we do breathe. So I bring in different breathwork expertise, different breathwork practices. So this year we have a different one than we've done every other year to recalibrate our nervous system so that we can make better intuitively led decisions.
Amazing.
When you're so far in your head and you disconnect from what I like to call your intuitive compass, you make decisions from strategy only, and that never works for women. What I believe is that we need to make intuitively led decisions and then find the strategy that supports that decision, not the other way around. And then we do grow.
Yeah.
Every single woman, we have over 100 women in the room every year, and every single one is a business owner. And so we have workshop style exchanges. We have keynote speakers and panels that bring in actionable stuff.
Yeah.
This is not a conference. You will sweat. You will be on the floor. You will be interacting with other people. It's very hands-on. It's very transformational. It's very interactive.
Amazing.
I encourage you not to wear heels because you're going to be dancing, you're going to be jumping around. Like it's a lot of fun. It's my favorite thing that I do every year.
Yeah.
I birthed that event with my first pregnancy. And then I was 2 weeks from giving birth with the first one.
Oh my gosh.
And all the pictures, I'm like all the way out to here.
Amazing.
And in all the pictures, my husband's like an orbit around me with like this giant jug of water and like a croqueta in his hand or like a cracker or something. And he would just like orbit and just like drink water, eat something.
It's a good support system.
Eat something, yeah. And then with my second kid, my book came about.
Yes.
So the last time that I was in the studio, I was talking to Leo, and we had like a 3-hour conversation. It was great. And he was like, you should write a book. And I think at that time he was either the second or the third person that had said it. And I was like, I believe when the universe has somebody tell you the same thing 3 times, you just have to do it.
Yes.
And I think within a couple of weeks or months, I forget because mom brain. After that, I was like, it just like hit me, and I looked up something in my notes because I know I thought about it and I wrote it in my notes, and I looked up something, I forgot a specific word, and it pulled up all of my postpartum notes that I would write.
It's amazing.
When I was trying to breastfeed my first son. I wasn't able to breastfeed my first son at all.
I
was
wasn't
like 4
either.
days, and then overnights feeds were just like bottles and formula and stuff like that, and I felt so defeated and so broken by it because I thought I was failing and all that stuff. So I'd write these things in my notes on my phone, but then I would forget I wrote them because I was exhausted and again, mom brain. And then who wants to read that anyway? So I would just for me, at the time, it was just a way of like getting it out of me.
Right.
to not let it fester within. And I would
that.
just like put it in my phone and I was like, that's it. It's out. It's done.
Yep.
I felt what I had to feel. And now I can move on with my night or my day or whatever it was. And it pulled up all of these things. And I was like, this is gold. This is so good.
Yes.
So I started like piecing them together and I was like, this is it. This is the book.
That's amazing.
This is the book.
Yes.
So it's going to be called, the working title is Sacred and Strategic. Why entrepreneurs make the best moms and vice versa.
I love it.
So it's all about the integration of the woman and the business owner.
Oh my gosh.
Because we've been taught for so long to compartmentalize the roles we play.
Yes.
Like when you're a mom only. When you're a business owner, you're only a business owner. I don't stop being a mom when I'm on a coaching call with a client.
Correct.
I don't stop being an entrepreneur when I'm looking at my kids dig up dirt and grab worms and animals with their hands. Like I don't stop being an entrepreneur at that moment. In fact, I'm the most of an entrepreneur at that moment because I am the best negotiator and salesperson. At that time, I have to convince that 3-year-old to let go of whatever animal he has in his hands because I'm not going to fucking touch it. He showed up into my house holding a lizard. I was like, look, Mom. I'm like, nope, no, sir.
No.
Take that shit outside right now. We're not doing lizards in the house, you know? And so at that moment, I am the best salesperson. I have to sell him the idea.
That's incredible. Yes.
And so I believe that we are the most powerful when we're fully integrated.
I love that.
So many of the tools and resources that we utilize in business are the same tools and resources that we need to utilize as moms.
I agree.
But we've been taught so much to separate them that we approach the two things as though we don't already have the tools for both, and we do. At least that's what I believe. And so the book is about that. And it's every time I say it's almost ready, I like tear it apart again. So I'm not going to say it's almost ready. But, it's there. And
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And then it's funny because I started working with a writing coach. Again, you need to invest in the things that you can't.
Incredible, yes.
Integrity. And so I'm like, I've never written a fucking book before. I have writing experience because I have a journalism background.
Right.
But it's not the same to write an article and to write a book.
Yes,
At least
correct.
I do not think so.
Yes.
And so I started working with a coach, and she was like, and she was not the first person to tell me this. Or rather, she was not the first person to annoy me by telling me this.
Okay.
She was like, just write. And I was like, what do you mean just write? Like, this is the structure, and this is the chapters, and this is the thing, controlling, right, like the outcome of the book.
Yep.
And
Sounds
she
like
was
me.
like, most people that start to write a book, it's not even the book. And I'm like, what the fuck is it?
Then what am I doing here?
It's a book, ma'am.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, most of the time, like you start writing and then you realize that it's the other thing that's in there is the thing that you're really going to write about. And it's the other book. And sometimes for some people, the first book they write is never it. It's the second book, or sometimes they end up with 2 books. And I was like, listen, I think you're just trying to sell me a second coaching thing for a second book. And I'm not there. I'm writing this one book, and I'm going to need you to slow down with this indirect ass pitch.
Yes.
I know what you're saying. She's like, no, Gigi, you're not listening to me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm done. I'm done listening to you. And so, I got on my next session with her, and we've worked through the book. And just the other day, I haven't touched the book in months.
Okay.
I can't write with a 5-month-old.
Yes. And sometimes it's good to take a break and come back to it.
Yeah. And so I stopped, and then now I'm thinking like I want to get back into the book.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it on another long drive that I had to take somewhere. So my best thinking happens in the car. And I was like, fuck. There's 2 elements in this book that don't belong in this book.
Oh man, there it is.
There's this book, Sacred and Strategic, and this part, because I was always trying to, there's something else that I was putting in the book that I was always trying to like see how it, I was doing this.
Yes.
And it just wouldn't quite fit in it. And I was like, oh, it's a second book. The book is not the book. And she was right. And I was wrong.
There it is.
I texted her and I was like, all I'm going to say is there's 2 books. You're hired again. Later, not now. Not going to talk about it. But thanks.
So are you writing those like in conjunction, or you're just putting notes like,
girl, I just had this thought
okay,
like
you
3
just
days
had this
ago.
brainwave because this is incredible.
I'm gonna stop you right there. This was like 3 days ago.
Okay.
I don't know
when
what
I
I'm
have
doing.
you back, you'll tell me.
I'll tell you this. The part of the book that wasn't fitting, if I were to completely remove it, the book stands by the Sacred and Strategic stands on its own.
Amazing.
So if I remove that, the book is still done.
Okay.
There's maybe like the introduction needs to be rearranged.
Amazing.
But the book is done. Done. Shouldn't have said that. But now the other thing has to be its own book.
That's incredible.
Because it's so good.
It's so, I mean, everything you're saying is so good because really like your experiences. Like I was a mom that couldn't breastfeed. I hated it. It didn't happen for me and I hated it. So the second time around, I told myself like, well, I wasn't able to the first time. Maybe I'll try again.
Yeah.
I looked at myself, you know, looking at myself, looking at my kid. I said, no, I just, and you know, and some women love it.
Yeah.
And women try, and some women try too long. Like you said, the mental health portion, they don't take into consideration. And I'm like, no, this is my second kid. I went through it with the first one. I know what I need to be present, and it is not to pump or breastfeed. But like, I love that because what you're packaging is a successful entrepreneur mom, but the real shit. That it could work, it could not work,
You
it
need
sucks.
to do it your way. Listen,
Yes!
it is proven that when you take somebody else's business structure and try to force fit it into yours, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's why I like to do in Simple Business System, it's why I want you to come in ideally without your program. And the women who come in with a program, we end up like dismantling it and putting it back together for them because most of the time they built structures, they built systems that somebody else told. Like,
Yes.
I have moms who are like, because I work mostly with moms, and they're like, oh, because I have a funnel and all these things. She's like, but I don't know how to read it, or like, I'm not really quite sure. And when something breaks out, and I'm just like, do you like the concept of data from funnels?
Yeah.
Because I know some moms that are like number freaks.
Yes.
And they just love to like sit there and get, and then you need to do that.
Right.
Right? But I know some moms who are like, listen, I barely know how to check my email. Mm-hmm. But the service that I offer is fucking life-changing.
Yes.
And it's like, great. So let's build your signature program where you only need the simplest shit.
Yes.
You do not need to have it be, but the problem is that if I'm selling funnels, I'm going to tell you funnels are the way.
Yeah.
If I'm selling, you know,
Correct.
whatever, I'm going to tell you that that's the way. If I'm
Right.
selling ads, I'm going to tell you ads are the way. If I'm selling, you know, and thankfully, what I have or what I bring to the table that is a little bit different is, first of all, I've had a brick and mortar business for over 23 years. If you can do that, you can almost walk on water.
That's right.
Girl, surviving COVID was not easy.
No.
As a brick and mortar.
Yes.
Additionally, I've run digital businesses.
Yeah.
I come from media background.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like messaging and publicity and content creation and camera and all those things. So I have a really juicy toolbox where most of the time when a client brings me their stuff, I can pull from so many lifetimes that I've had in this one human experience
Right.
to be able to give you the resources that you need to do this part.
That's amazing.
To do the part that is going to help you to package your genius so that you can go from overbooked one-to-one to a one-to-many, very impactful, deep offer that you can make money on.
Yeah.
Good money.
Amazing.
Right? And so it's your definition.
Yes.
You do it the way you need to do it. You can't force fit anybody's life into, or anybody's business into yours, anybody's life into yours.
Agreed.
It's that behind the scenes. But the problem is too, it's so much easier to be told what to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much easier to say, well, this worked for so-and-so. I'm just going to slap that on my business and see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, but that person maybe didn't have 2 kids.
Yeah.
That person, because even with women, I tell my clients this all the time when they struggle to like niche into their audience.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I am a mom of 2.
Yeah.
Mom of 2, mom of 2. Okay, cool. Do you have grandparents available? Mm. Do you not have grandparents available? Mm-hmm. Mom of 2 with or without a nanny? Mm-hmm. Mom of 2 with or without a husband?
Correct.
Mom of 2 at 40 or mom of 2 at 20?
Yep.
Mom of 2 as an entrepreneur or mom of 2 as a 9-to-5?
There you go.
These are 6 completely different women.
Yes, they are.
Who do not speak the same language,
No.
have the same needs, have the same worries. Nothing that is the same as what keeps them up at night. Like, they are completely different women. They're still mom of 2 though.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to understand that you need to take ownership. And that's another part that's really scary, because if you take ownership and you do what you want to do and it doesn't work out, you're to be held accountable.
Yep.
If you do what Gigi says and it doesn't work out, it's Gigi's fault.
It's Gigi's fault, yeah.
Right? But
Correct.
it's not.
Right.
So your responsibility is to take what Gigi says and to say, is this the way that I want my business to feel? Do I want, because some women who don't have kids and don't have the kind of responsibility want to be booked out.
Yeah.
And I love that for them.
Yeah.
I loved it for me before I had kids.
Right.
I loved seeing 3, 4, 5 clients a day. It was so much fun.
Yes.
I remember I used to talk to other friends who were also doing coaching and or therapists. And they were like, how do you do that? I can't see that many people a day. I'm like, dude, I finish and I am jacked up.
Yes.
Like I can run a fucking mile if I was a runner. I can
Yes.
run 10 miles if I was a runner.
Receiving the energy.
Not a runner, not gonna run. But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I was just like, yes.
Yes.
It was so much fun for me.
Yeah.
I have 5 whole clients
Okay.
that are one-to-one right now. I won't take more than 5 one-to-one clients.
That's amazing.
It has to be maybe like, I have some really favorite clients that do like seasons.
Okay.
And so they're favorites because like they've been with me a long time. And
Yes.
they'll like, I need a break. Great.
Right.
Go off. But they always,
They'll pop
like when
back
they
in.
get back into
Yes.
like, they're like, all right, I'm on my shit again. I need to like whatever.
Yes,
They
yes.
come back and they're like strategize with me and do the whole thing. Fantastic. And then they'll stand for
Amazing.
like 2 years and then they'll like pause. If I get one of those back, I'll take on a 6th client.
Got it.
Because those clients and like we just flow so easy together. It does because we already know each other. It's not like onboarding a whole new human with
Right.
a whole new like whatever
Right.
and learning their thinking. Don't want to do it. And so, where are you at now? And who has proof of the lifestyle that you want? Because
I
it's
love it.
not just screenshots of income. Income is very important. Money is a vibe. I love me some money. Money loves me. I love it. We're BFFs. It's all good.
That's right.
And it's not the only thing because some
Yes.
people have a lot of money and they also have a lot of stress and anxiety.
That's right.
And they're also very unhappy and they also don't see their kids. If you don't want to see your kids, that's the person for you.
Right.
And that's okay too.
Yes.
If you want to spend most of your time with your kids, it doesn't matter how much money that person's making because you're going to be miserable doing that.
Yeah. And that's
know?
the truth.
So you have to find like who is in integrity.
Yeah.
I feel like we've said that word 20 times today. Who is in integrity?
Yep.
And does it fit your desired business structure? And you have to really look at that from a person point of view because
Yeah.
people are like, again, focused on the outcome, not in the process. And it's like, I celebrate the outcome, but not the work it took to get there. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, the work it took to get there is why they got that outcome.
Correct.
So if you want the outcome of $70,000 months, then you need to be willing to put in work that gets $70,000 months.
Yes.
There's infinite number of ways to get $70,000 months. Do you want to do it in this way, that way, or the other way?
Yeah.
And so that's the part that matters. It's not the $70,000.
Yes. Agreed.
You know?
Yes.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No,
but-
it makes sense because, like you said, you're getting the $70,000 either in the hospital sick
Right.
or going to Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the choice.
Right.
And that is a choice. I do agree
It
with
is.
you. And it's also the choice. I love that you said earlier that if that's not for you and you want a simpler, happier life, that's okay too.
Yeah, and you can make the 70 grand with a simpler life.
Yes.
And it's important to, I think this is a really big part of entrepreneurship. It's like, dude, you have to be courageous.
Yes.
You have to be courageous and you've got to do a lot of nervous system work to
Yep.
be able to
That's true.
be in the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that is absolutely factual and true across the board for all entrepreneurs, regardless of age, time, service, or product, is that we live in uncertainty.
That's right.
With the perfect systems, with the perfect team, with the perfect economy, you're still in uncertainty because at any given moment,
Yep.
something can fall apart. I mean, look at COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. I deal with that every day, that same conversation. Like, I go back to my therapy place, the catastrophic thinking. Daniela, what's the worst case scenario? Because I go through it and I'm like, A, that's not healthy to keep doing to myself, but it happens. But yes. And then my question for you, so do you think all of those skills, being an entrepreneur, makes you a better mom?
1,000 bajillion %.
I agree.
Also think I am a better mom because I waited until I was a dinosaur mom. I feel like if I'd had my kids younger, I would have not been as aware or as able. I might have had more energy, but I don't think that I would have had as many tools and resources
I love that.
to bring to them.
Right.
And as much healing. I've done a lot of healing.
Yes.
I've done a lot of undoing and breaking apart of my being to be able to become the version of me that I am today, even
Yeah.
before kids,
Yeah.
even just as a wife, like
Right.
just as a partner. I had
Yes.
to undo a lot of parts of me to to be able to receive love in the way that I always wanted to receive love,
beautiful,
right?
yeah.
And so I had a lot of shields up. You know, I walked around with like a shield and a sword.
Yep.
And you can't receive like that. And so there was just been so much healing that I've done that I feel like now when I approach my kids in a tantrum or in a good day or on a bad day or I'm having a bad day or whatever it is, I'm more prepared because I have more life behind me.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that 20-year-olds can't be good parents. Get off the comments, get off my DMs. I'm not attacking you. Not everything is personal. Chill the fuck out. You'll learn that when you're 40. It doesn't mean that 20-year-olds can't be good parents. There's a lot of 20-year-olds who are great parents. I'm only talking about myself.
Correct.
You asked me the question about me.
Yes.
Do I believe?
Yes.
It's why I titled my book that way.
I love it.
And also why the book says, and vice versa. Because I feel like if you're a really good mom, if you're a really present mom, if you're a really curious mom, curious about why they think this way, curious about why you feel this way, curious about why that triggered you, why that triggered your husband or your partner. Like if you're that kind of mom, you'd make a kick-ass entrepreneur.
I love that. Yeah.
Kick-ass entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because that's all entrepreneurship is curiosity.
It is.
If I push this button, is it going to work? That's
if not, we'll push another one.
If I do this offer, is it going to work?
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is push the button, see if it works. And if it works, great. And then you have to figure out, how do I make it work great again?
Yes.
Right? Like, how do I just make this a repeatable outcome?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And that, isn't that the same thing with kids?
Yes.
Isn't that why we put kids on routines? So that we have the same repeatable outcome.
Yep.
It's the same thing. I believe motherhood and entrepreneurship are the same damn thing with a different name and a different noise level.
Yes.
But
a
it's the
different
same.
overstimulation. That's a word that always comes to
different overstimulation, but sis, you're overstimulated regardless.
Absolutely.
Entrepreneurship is overstimulating, so is motherhood.
Oh, yeah.
If you can do one, I believe you can do the other.
I agree with you.
Majestically.
Gigi, you are so wonderful. I mean, like, there's, again, second book,
It's
second
the mirror,
podcast.
babe.
It's the whole
mirror.
thing.
You're just seeing you are wonderful.
It's just amazing. Please tell everyone where to find your coaching, everything that you offer. I mean, honestly, like, priceless what you're offering, because it is all those things. And like, adding to your coaching, now you have the experience for moms, for multiple, like moms with multiples, and like it's a whole nother animal, like you said. And
it sure is.
It's all of that. It's everything plus more, and you're killing it. If you don't see it, I'm telling you, you're killing it.
Thank you. Some days I feel like I'm doing great.
Good.
Other days I'm like, I'm drowning and I'm gonna die.
And
like,
there's the duality, right? There's both sides can exist at the
duality.
same time, like you said. But that only makes you stronger and successful in your way, the way that it should be.
And that's business.
That's it.
Some days you do really well.
Correct.
And some days you don't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Some months, some year, it just happens. I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you. So finding Gigi, you can go to seizinghappy.com. That's the company name. You can find me personally and all of my baby mom and wife things at GiGi Diaz Live on Instagram. But seizinghappy.com has everything, or Seizing Happy on Instagram. If you're interested in the Simple Business System, it is open right now, and we do both curriculum and live. So I'm literally there with you.
Amazing.
It's not just like watch these videos and disappear. That's seizinghappy.com/SBS. And something else that I really, really love that I don't think I talk about enough is for the newer business owners. I know I work mostly with established business owners who are transitioning with the overbooked, but I do have something really, really juicy called the Seizing Happy Hybrid Community. It's only $97 a month, and you get bi-weekly coaching with me live. So you bring in whatever you're doing in your business, whatever you're stuck on, whether it's your messaging, your offer, your pricing, whatever you got going on, your inability to show up, your procrastination, all of that shit that we all go through, you can bring it to me, and I coach live for an hour bi-weekly. And it's so much fun. And I do that for the younger, newer business owners who are kind of like still figuring it out. Because I wish I had that. Like, there's a lot of communities that offer network, and that's very good. But I don't know many communities that, for an affordable price point, bring in an actual coach to help you through the process. Absolutely. And so this is something else that I also talk to my clients about that I'll just throw in there because I think it's so important, is like, when you can be in overflow, you could, because I've had people that are like, why do you do that? Like, why are you showing up to coach for $97 a month.
Right.
Like my hourly retainers and my one-to-one coaching retainers are absurdly higher, significantly higher than that.
Right.
And I'm just like, because I can.
Yeah.
Because I wish I'd had, when I was, the first business I opened, I was 18 years old, 17, 18 years. I wish I'd had somebody that I could talk to twice a month, that I could be like, what the fuck do I do with this?
Right.
Like, I'm thinking about X, Y, and Z, but I don't know how to, like, I know I want this, but I don't know how to put it together. Like, I wish I'd had someone at a normal price point that I could just ask for help, you know?
And when you're brand new, you don't have the funds. Like,
you don't have the funds to
I
hire
had
me.
3 different loans. Like, if we're going to be honest, if you're a brand new entrepreneur.
And I don't want that.
There's a struggle there. That's incredible that you're doing that, because that's the truth. There's a struggle there.
And I don't like the bro sales of like, oh, put it on a credit card. You have to buy this right now. And you can't. I don't like to do that. I don't want you to put my services on a credit card. If you can't afford me right now, you'll afford me later.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't like to push people into debt, like, especially if you have kids. Your kids need so much more of your money than I do. And like, for me, it was like, how can I create after I was well, after I was good? I have the time for the overflow. I have that. And I charge for it because you need skin in the game.
Correct.
If you don't have skin in the game, it doesn't work.
Right.
But I also do a bunch of free stuff. I have a nonprofit organization where I offer a lot of these services for free.
Amazing.
Like, we have this really cool, it's called Plan Pose Post.
Okay.
So I partnered with a friend of mine who's a photographer.
Okay.
And we were having like a coffee conversation, just, you know, like this, where it runs too long and talk about everything. And we were both like, you know, people just don't maximize their social media because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They feel awkward in front of the camera and they don't know what, and I'm just like, yeah, but like, I don't like to use my phone. I don't know how to do it. And she's like, well, that's what I know how to do. I'm like, well, I do the strategy. Like, I can tell you how, I have a system called the 3x3 method where you never run out of content that converts, because I teach you how to really hone in on what your clients are talking about. So they always will find you. Even if the algorithm doesn't pop you up, they will go look for you because you have the sauce that they want.
Yeah.
She's like, we should do that together. And I was like, we should do it for free. We should do it with the nonprofit for free. And she's like, yeah, when? And I'm like, I don't know, bust out your calendar. She opened up her calendar. I opened up mine. We put a fucking date on it. We have, I think, 17 RSVPs right now.
Amazing.
Since it's a free event, they usually say like 30 to 40% don't show up for free stuff.
Yeah.
So as of today, that RSVP is still open. By the time you see this, it might not be. But with the nonprofit, I also do a bunch of free stuff. That's really
incredible.
Fun.
You're really helping women.
I try.
mean, it's just, we will link everything that GiGi does. Go find her if you need the help. If you have any questions, if you just need parenting advice, entrepreneur advice, women that will bring up other women. This was the conversation for you. And GiGi, you were amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Please stay tuned, like, subscribe. Again, find GiGi. You are just amazing. This was such a fun, enlightening conversation that, like, I was talking to me a little. I'm like, this is great.
You're amazing. You're fun. It's the mirror,
awesome.
like you said earlier.
We made this happen. Thank you,
me.
GiGi. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you soon.